Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today, the Cultural Revolution in China. I have a few co-workers that are Chinese. My stepmother is Chinese. My father lives with my stepmother in Hong Kong. I find the lesser-known parts of Chinese history fascinating. In this regard, I knew a bit about the Cultural Revolution. I knew a bit about the uniformity that the Cultural Revolution tried to enact, with obviously a whole lot of violence and other stuff. But I hadn't realised the impact that the Cultural Revolution had had on one of my co-workers until she told me the story yesterday. She was 9 when the Cultural Revolution occurred, and her experience of that was to have a neighbourhood boy, a 16-year-old boy, march into her family home and to begin kind of vandalising their artwork, turn over tables and chairs, destroy a record, slash up pictures, these kind of things, with the view that the state was behind this. I do a lot of reflection associated with fascism, associated with Nazism. I talk a lot in these podcasts. And I do have genuine concerns that our house could be robbed and, various violence could be enacted while we were being robbed. But nothing that was supported by the state. Well, one could argue the lack of police is supported by the state and all the things follow from that. But nothing seriously really enacted by the state. And irrespective of how I might view this, to be a 9-year-old girl viewing this clearly had an extreme impact on my co-worker. And it was such a fascinating story to me, such a terrifying story, that has also had some impact on me, just imagining what that would have been like. I have been incredibly lucky in my life. I've been incredibly lucky to end up where I am, and I spent an hour yesterday evening just walking the downstairs of my house. Our house is old, kind of run down, but not really horribly run down. We fixed it up when we moved in. And I forget how much of a luxury it is to actually live in this place. To walk around, look at the high ceilings, get a sense of this actually being an environment, somehow that I'm supporting, made me realise that I've got a lot to really be thankful for. And in that light, I reflected on how I talk a lot about fascism and, Nazism and the brutality that's enacted by the state based on our tax money, all these kind of things. But in actuality, I'm just some bourgeois schmuck who, as my wife points out, narcissistically records his own voice and puts it out to a group of unsuspecting folk. And the folks who've experienced real hardship, that have experienced repression by an aggressive state, these kind of things, they walk amongst us. These are actual people that exist around us. And we need to really appreciate those kind of folk and the insights that they can provide. Because, truth be told, kind of bourgeois schmuckery that I'm experiencing day to day, really, it's these kind of folk who probably should be producing podcasts and putting this kind of information out. But having said that, I think the choice has been made to acknowledge the impact of these events in some level, but to continue to live one's life from that. And that has been echoed in a variety of folk that I've met in my day-to-day life through a variety of factors. But I think it's important to pause, take note, and try to learn as much from these people as one can possibly do. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.